The following program is a WPIX color presentation.
This is New York City, land of 1,000 discotheques, and for the next 60 minutes, you're invited to sit ringside. Best of the world's popular music. In the swingin'est club in town, Clay Cole's Diskotek, tonight starring the Blues MAGOOS. CROSBY, the Five Americans, comedy star Mark Russell, introducing the Darling Sisters, the great voice of Arthur PRYSOCK, plus the Turtles. And I'm your host, Clay Cole. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. And hello at home. Welcome back again. I hope you'll spend the next hour with us. For best results, turn the volume way up. We're going to rather dedicate our whole show tonight to Gloria Stavers and Georgia Winters, the editors of 16 magazine, who have been very kind to our show and to me through the years. And I congratulate them on finally having 6 million teenage fans. And also, I want to thank her very much. On page 2, she said, best New York TV music show is still Clay Cole's Diskotek on WPIX, Saturday night, 6:30 to 7:30. Sorry the whole world can't see it. But we don't ever have that regret, because lots of times they've talked about, well, we should put the show on so it's seen coast to coast. But I always really kind of liked it here because, you know, we've been able to have the kind of show that really appeals to the hip guys and girls in New York and New Jersey and Connecticut, and we can sort of tailor our show just to you, and that makes it a lot easier. Because, well, what the heck, the hippest people in the world are here anyway. Joining us tonight are a group that you have actually made in this town, and these are a couple of their albums. This is the first one, Electric Comic Book, and this, the Psychedelic Lollipop. Turn the volume up and enjoy the Blues MAGOOS. This is the first big one. For you. And we have a couple of all-day lollipops ourselves, a couple of sugar plums that dance in the cages every week. Marcy High and Kelly Clark. Marcy. Kelly. They'll be leading off the dancing. And on the floor ringside from Father Gurman's swinging group from Our Lady of Solace in the Bronx. Give yourselves a welcome back. And since the Bronx, we've heard, is the place where the Boogaloo all started, let's get them to do the Boogaloo down Broadway. Johnny C., if you're ready, so are we.
Boogaloo down Broadway, yeah, the funky Broadway.
On stage next, Chris Crosby, the Five Americans. In our front room, Arthur PRYSOCK, and in our Cinematheque, the Turtles. Number 2 on the Motown female roster, but number 1 around here, Honey Child. Chris Crosby is back with us because he has a brand new record and a brand new record company. He's a beautiful new song called Hippie Lullaby, but he's going to do something else for you now and then Hippie Lullaby later. Just looking at an article on Chris in 16 magazine, I was interested. It says Chris plans to continue his singing career and become an actor. He calls himself a part-time beach bum. I guess he lives in California somewhere, and would like to settle down by the sea someday. Here's a beautiful song, I Will Wait for You, by part-time beach bum and great singer Chris Crosby.
I will wait for you through 1,000 summers. I will wait for you till you're back beside me, till I'm holding you, till I hear you sigh here in my arms. Anywhere you wander, anywhere you go, darling, please remember how I love you so. In your heart, believe what in my heart I know, that forevermore I'll wait for you. The clock will tick away the hours one by one, and then the time will come when all the waiting's done. The time when you return and find me here and run straight to my waiting arms. If it takes forever, I will wait for you through 1,000 summers. I will wait for you
Is this on?
Yeah, that'll be for you.
This one.
That's from Umbrellas of Cherbourg
Umbrellas of Cherbourg.
by Michel Legrand. That's one of my favorite songs.
Beautiful tune.
But I like Hippie's Lullaby a lot.
Yes?
I think it's going to be a big one.
I hope so.
And you got a new record coming.
Atlantic.
Nobody's hotter than that this year, so I hope it's good for you.
We're trying to make them hotter.
I know you will. So why don't you stick right here, and Chris will do Hippie's Lullaby for you a little later in the show. Right now, quickly set up for you with a song called Stoplight. Here are the 5 Americans, first time with us. Give them a nice welcome.
Go!
For you, 5 Americans. Looked like they filmed that thing on the expressway to your heart.
I don't know. They must have filmed it somewhere.
Well, they managed to get through 2 minutes and 30 seconds without getting hit, so
I
guess
kept looking, but I couldn't see them over there.
Well, we open the windows. That's the secret. Let's open the Victrola and lay on a little Sam and Dave. Ready for Soul Man?
So...
No. Straight ahead, comedy star Mark Russell introducing the Darling Sisters. Blues MAGOOS will be back. Turtles in our Cinematheque. And Chris Crosby will join us, too. Stay where you are. We'll be right back.
Hello, Peachy Cat. How are you, Glenn?
We had a lot of mail about the Pierre Lalonde. Now, so far, the big thing isn't your last name. So far this week, it's the first name. So we figured that we'd find out a translation. Pierre, I think, is Peter.
Peter, that's right.
So,
Peter, Pete.
that's pretty American.
Yeah, that's easy. Easier than Pierre.
Everybody like Peter?
Yeah, great reaction, yeah.
Well, we'll write it down and consider it. Well, Pierre's going to sing for you in a minute. Peter. I was going to sing for you in a moment, but I want you to meet a very good friend of mine. He started out as a young man at the piano and you know, writing parodies, and he found most of his material came from the front pages of the paper, which is the reason he has appeared with Johnny Carson and Mort Saul and Bob Newhart. But interesting enough, when he worked clubs, he was booked into the Shoreham Hotel in Washington, D.C. for a usual 2-week engagement, and everybody in Washington loved him so much that he was held over for 6 years at that as a bellhop. But he worked the room occasionally, and it's our room that he's going to work tonight. Would you say hello to my good friend Mark Russell?
Thank you very much. Thank you. There's a lovely piano they provided. It washed ashore many years ago, and the rest is history. Actually, it's nice to be here and with Clay, and we're going to do a record a little later on. It's a brand new one. You may not have heard of it. It's called Blow Your Mind with Snooky Lanson, so watch for that. And also, Clay is, we've got to be pretty good friends. Clay is probably one of the best-dressed men in New York. He really is. He's a fashion plate. He's so neat. He really is extremely neat. He puts shoe trees in his sneakers. I'm not kidding you. He puts on his suppos with a shoehorn. Actually, I don't come to New York too often, but most of my New York friends tell me that Mayor Lindsay is doing a great job. Of course, most of my New York friends live in Rochester, now that I think of it. But I come to your fair city from Washington. That's my home. That's where our laws are made, enforced, interpreted, and broken. All by the same people, now that I think of it. And Washington is also, among other things, the home of the Washington Redskins. Whoopee! And you may recall several years ago, after one of our Redskin disasters, right after the game, our great quarterback was so mad. At the end of the game, he was so furious, he took off his helmet, he threw it on the ground, and he missed. You may remember reading about that. It was in all of the papers. Another thing, not long ago, Vice President Humphrey, I couldn't think of it for a minute. Humphrey went on this round-the-world tour, and just before he left, they put out this press release, and it said, at noon today, the Vice President leaves on a tour of all of the friendly countries, and he should be back at 5 o'clock. And he was back at 4:30, now that I think about it. But in Washington, we're very, very excited about the big wedding, the wedding between Linda Bird Johnson and Major General Charles Robb. And, of course, oh, you hadn't heard. Oh, no, Major General now. And, of course, they said that, oh, yeah, you hadn't. And they said very soon after the wedding, Rob is going to be sent to Vietnam. Actually, he won't be right up there in the front lines. You realize, of course, men are needed in the rear. And he's going to be in Honolulu is where he's going to be. But we're very excited about it, and George Hamilton just wrote a book called Paradise Lost, or How I Went from 4F to 1A in 20 minutes. And you can imagine now, just the other day, the president was babysitting for the new grandchild, Lucy's son, whose name is Lyndon, as you know. And the other evening in the White House, picture, if you will, President Johnson babysitting to the little baby singing like this. Rock-a-bye, Lyndon, I'm proud of you, boy. I'll look to the future with tidings of joy. You'll be my successor eventually, competing with dozens all named Kennedy. Perhaps you'll be working in some other way. In 25 years to your grandma I'll say, did you hear about Lyndon? I'm proud of that boy. Tomorrow his squadron is bombing Hanoi. Yeah.
Invited to the wedding, since, you know, you've entertained presidents and been in the wedding.
Well, I went to the last one, you know. I went to when Lucy got married, and what a fantastic wedding that was, of course. Was completely covered by radio and television. Huntley and Brinkley were in the choir loft. Remember that? We heard this. We're here at Wedding Central. Yes. And now back to Frank McGee at the altar. Frank? And then they switched down there, and they said, we're down here at the altar. And we're now at T-7 and holding. You may recall that.
Oh, they really treated. They're not going to televise this. next wedding.
No, they're going to do like they did. They're going to fly over the thing in a blimp, and that goes to Telstar satellite. It's going to be a great big thing like that.
You know, it always, as long as I've known you, as a long time.
Yes,
you
10,
never.
15 minutes now, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's been that way since you walked in. You never looked to me like a comedian. You know, you don't have that look, you know, that sort of bizarre look.
Yeah, I know that. I walk in a place, they think I came in to do the books, you know, but you never know what people will say. You know, you finish a show, the other evening I finished a show, and a lady stopped me in the lobby, and she said, you know, I don't know anything about entertainment, but you're good. What do you say to somebody
It's like I may be wrong, but I think you're wonderful.
That's right. Well, the business about, I changed my name, you see. Now, a lot of us in this racket changed, like your name used to be Pierre Cole, but you changed it to Peter, because it, it sounded
Sure,
better.
it's more American with that.
And, no, Russell is my real name, and my whole family was in show business. Just the other day, I said to my uncle, Nipsey?
No. Couldn't be.
That was a mixed marriage, I'll tell you that.
Hey, Mike, thank you for coming by and spending some time with us here in New York.
It's been my pleasure.
And we'll
I want to thank you.
Thank you very much. Pierre is going to sing for you in a second. And Turtle's coming up. Did you meet Pierre?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, Pierre is going to sing. We got the Turtles coming. It's all right. Come in here.
You got the electric razor there?
No. This is a brand new idea, and it's a great idea for gift giving around the holidays. It's a brand new electric knife sharpener and can opener, well, the whole works, from Universal by General Electric. Watch this, and we'll be back with Pierre. Peter. Night and the Pips. Mark that down.
That was good.
Peter's now going to be the name. I just decided.
Right, yeah.
But you tell me.
It's easier, right?
It's interesting that everybody in Canada calls you Peter anyway. So.
Yeah, it's funny. I went to Garden City High School. In Garden City, everybody called me Pierre. You know? And back in Montreal, where I work now, everybody calls me Pete.
Even though you use the name Pierre?
Yeah.
I guess everybody likes a little.
I'm used to both of them, so call me, Irving, whatever you want.
Okay. I want you to meet two young ladies. About beginning of last summer, we went out on a boat. We invited a whole bunch of record people, and two young ladies showed up named Darla and Darlene Darling.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yes, they were special guests on the boat, and since that time, they've written some hits for Keith and Tommy James and the Shondells, and now they have their own on MGM. Darla and Darlene Darling are yours.
Just cast a movie where I sat alone, just with my way. Just the ordinary boy, the ordinary joy, the ordinary
it's easy to remember, Darlin' and Darlene Darling. Actually, I promised them in the summertime that they could be on our show. It took all this time to persuade them. But we launched more careers than that, and we're happy that they introduced their new song with us. I don't know whether you're familiar with Arthur PRYSOCK or not.
Very familiar with him.
He is probably one of the most powerful singers to finally become successful in the last couple of years. I call your attention to Arthur PRYSOCK, album number 2 for Verve Records. He is going to entertain the gang out in our front room while we back here open up a pint of Chicken Delight and munch away. So we'll leave it to you in the front room to welcome special guests and the great voice of Arthur PRYSOCK.
Let there be you, and let there be me. Let there be oysters under the sea. Let there be wind and occasional rain. Chili con carne, sparkling champagne. Let there be birds to sing in the trees, someone to bless me whenever I sneeze. Let there be cuckoos, a lark and a dove, but first of all, please, let there be love. Sparkling champagne. Let there be birds just sing in the trees, someone to bless me whenever I sneeze. Let there be cuckoos, a lark and a dove, but first of all, please, let there be love. Let there be love. Let there be
Motown sound of the Miracles. I second that emotion. Chris Crosby is back, standing by to do his new song for you, and Atlantic Records, in order to introduce him and his brand new single, has packaged the 45 in a full-color sleeve. If you pick it up, it's a hippie lullaby. And once again, Chris Crosby.
Funny little girl, I can't put you on. It's time for tripping out, now the day is gone. Solemn little bird, knowing all you do, just what kind of lullaby can I sing
to you. Hey kid, passerby and all that, kid. We both know you're where it's at, kid. So close your eyes, don't be afraid. You got it made. Hey kid, now you can swing with that Sandman. Just grab a hold of his hand, man. Float on upstream and dream your dream. Rockabye on my shoulder, baby. Soon enough, the world grows colder. You grow older. Rockabye on my shoulder, baby. Soon enough, the world grows older. You grow older. Hey, kid, now you don't need lullabying. You're hip and free and you're flying. Sweet dreams, sweet time. Hey, kid, good
Thank you. Thank you. It's a hippie lullaby, and you remember that, and also you get a little bonus picture of Chris on the cover. Thanks again very much. Come back, see us. Chris Crosby. In our Cinematheque tonight, our film crew brought back the brand new song from the Turtles. So if you dim the lights here, you at home move closer in our Cinematheque, the Turtles.
Morning, morning glory. If you'd like to know where was I last night, well, I saw a girl with a boy in her eye, and she's so out of sight. She's my girl, and that's where it was last night. Off in a dream. She's my girl. I took her away last night. Went for a ride. Up in the sky, that's where I was last night. I just come back to tell you, there's a little bit of heaven underneath the apple tree. And every time I see you with that smile upon your face, it's a little bit there for me. And she's my girl, and that's where it was last night. Went for a ride. She's my girl, took her away last night. Went for a ride. My girl, that's where I was last night.
Turtles flipping out every week. They get a little more way out. Let's see. We have Arthur PRYSOCK and Blues MAGOOS yet with another song for us. Meanwhile, we'll turn it over to Marcy and Kelly, who keep the ball rolling on the dance floor. Jay and the Techniques will do the vocals for us. As promised, we have another song from the Blues MAGOOS and Arthur PRYSOCK. He has a really powerful number called The Working Man's Prayer for the gang in the front room. Why don't you introduce him?
Well, he's a great singer. This fella has been on about every show you can name, and we're glad he's on our show. He's doing a great job. Arthur PRYSOCK.
Let me make another step, let me go another road. Even though I'm tired, gotta try to make a dollar for my wife and kids living over in the hollow. The frost came early last year, and well, Lord, there just wasn't anything to be harvested. Well, with no money and Christmas a-coming, a man's mind takes funny turns. And for a minute I thought to blame you, Lord, but I know better than that. I know that for every row of planting, it takes a heap of praying. And I reckon I'd been forgetting mine when the crops died. But you didn't forget me, Lord. And by the time Christmas came, I'd found enough to put a chicken on the table. It wasn't that big turkey I wanted, but it was some mighty good eatings. And the kids all had new shoes. It wasn't those fancy toys they wanted, but their feet were nice and warm. And then I guess I cried a little. And I got down on my knees, and I thanked you, Lord. Remember? Lord, put your hand to the hammer of my hoe. Let me make another step. Help me go another road. Even though I'm tired, gotta try to make a dollar for my wife and kids living over in the hollow. And then there was a time my wife said, you just gotta slow down, man. I said, honey, I gotta make it while I can. So I worked 3 days, Lord, without stopping. For Miss Simmons down the road had wood needed chopping. Sam Fowler over east had hay needed baling. Old man Taylor wanted his hopper fixed for spring planting. The 4th day I was down on my back, Lord, but I got it all done before the sky turned black. Now I ain't complaining, Lord, but sometimes when you see me stumble, reach down and lend a helping hand to my back. Make my days a little shorter and my nights a little longer. Lord, make my hammer a little lighter and my dollar a little stronger. And if there's anything I can do for you, Lord, let me know what's to be done. It shall be done. Well, good night, Lord.
That's powerful stuff.
Arthur PRYSOCK, if I may, Clay, I'd like to mention that this man with a great voice is at the Living Room in New York up until December 10th, and he'll be at the Showboat in Philadelphia, December 25th to the 30th, right? Philadelphia Showboat. Now in
Well, it closes tomorrow. So we'll better start forming lines now. In fact, tonight's a good time to go over and see him. Handsome man, too, isn't he?
what a voice.
Blues MAGOOS have another song for you, and again, I'll remind you about their albums, Blues MAGOOS Electric Comic Book and the new one, Psychedelic Lollipop. They told me they called it that because after one taste, you want to hear more. Good thinking, I guess.
Yeah.
They started out here in New York City at the Night Owl Cafe, the hippie hangout for all the teeny boppers down on McDougal Street. And you are the ones that made them big stars. Now they are all over the country. Here is their Jingle Bells from the Blues MAGOOS.
Yes, sir.
Your holiday greeting from the Blues MAGOOS. Grandma would never recognize that song, would she? We have a final word coming up, all about next week's show, and thank you for tonight's show. But first, let's watch these messages, and then we'll be right back. Two very nice young people from St. John's University in New Jersey dropped by to ask me to remind you that an old play by Molière. I can't do that French.
I don't know, Tartuffe, was that?
You blew the whole French thing.
Yeah, the whole
Tartuffe?
French, yeah. No, Tartuffe.
Tartuffe.
Jawohl.
For once, we can take advantage of that. Right? It's now appearing at St. John's University Stagers now through December 12th, so drop by. They're a talented group. For you loyal supporters sitting ringside tonight, tattoos to stick on your entire neighborhood, a brand new copy of Cheetah magazine with the lead story, the Tijuana Pot Smugglers, for all of you. So campus movie makers, groupies, and poetry of rock lyrics. For the guys in the audience, Gentlemen's Quarterly's teen scene magazine for men only, and it's full of good fashion stuff, as you well know. From MCA Music, a folder of psychedelic San Francisco songs. From Dot Records, your Beethoven soul. You'll be the first to get the scoop on this brand new group. And cheese to make your fondue while you're skiing. Now, this is a puzzle with all the famous ski slopes of the country. It's hard to put together in case you don't find any love this winter. It's there. Thank you very much. Peter and I shall return next week. Till then, Clay Cole, thank you very much for saying good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Keep falling in and out of love. In search for what I'm dreaming of. I long to find a love I'm sure about. That certain kind of love that moves on down.
Don't forget, folks, Sally Field is back, and she's flying high. She's Gidget, coming up next on WPIX 11. Stay tuned.
TV 11.
To whom